Hello, hello. Going live here. I'm Mac McCarthy and I help people with their breakups. And today we got a little different time slot, but I thought I'd get it in because I had a long coaching session this morning that went over, but it was highly productive. And so I didn't want to cut it. And so I thought we'd get into something that is a topic that comes up a lot and it's in a lot of YouTube videos. And I thought I'd just go with something quick here. And I've made videos on this in the past and touched on it, but I haven't done a top 10, which gets to the point, right? How to get your interested again is what I wrote up there, but how to get your ex interested again. And one of the first things you guys want to do is probably write out your story, send it into myself at writemac.com, or send it into another coach if you like. But you need to get your story down and get clear on what happened. That's really a first step before you even entertain the idea of possibly getting your ex. Sorry, I retracted that. Sorry. Possibly getting your ex interested again. You need to know what happened and if you even want to revisit the relationship. And so in order to do that, how to get your ex interested again, take a few steps back after the breakup and really take some inventory. So write out your story and get really clear. Watch some of my videos, watch some other videos, but really understand, like, do I even want to get back with this individual before I try to make a play or I do something desperate or clingy or needy, or something just to replace that empty feel that I have right now, which is loneliness. So I'm going to give you some quick hitters here. How to get my ex interested in me again. Dun, dun, dun. Number one, and I might even close with this because this is probably the most important thing. If you'd like to pause this and replay it, it's very important information and it could be life-changing in your breakup. And this is absolutely one of the best ways to get your ex interested again. And it sounds counterintuitive. Are you ready? Tell me you're ready. So stop trying. Stop trying, stop trying, stop trying. Trying insinuates that you're not good enough, you're clingy, you're needy. And it's usually a knee-jerk reaction to loneliness, to loss. And what you become, and I've talked about this before, you basically become that salesman that won't stop trying to sell you something. And you've told them, I'm just looking, I'm not interested. And eventually you either get nasty with the individual and you say, stop. For example, let's say you're in a tourist town or city, right? Let's say downtown New York City. They have the trinket shops. They have the places where, you can buy keychains and I Love New York t-shirts. And some guy's like, hey, what do you need? And you're like, I'm just looking, man. And no, tell me what you need. I got shirts in the back. I got this. I got this. I got that. I got this. I got that. I got this shirt. I got this shot. Starts bringing shirts out. You said, in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm not even buying anything. I'm just kind of browsing. I'm just looking. Thanks. And then he goes, wait a minute. I got the perfect shirt for you. Hold on. Stay right there. And if you're weak enough, you'll go, all right, I'll try the shirt on. And you might buy something from the guy. And he just feasts off people that are, not able to make a strong decision without being pushed. But you're saying, no, I'm not interested. And now you start to get a little angry and annoyed, or you just walk out. Now, the other part of that is, you put it in your back pocket, the experience, and you go, I'll never go back to that shop if I have to buy, t-shirts or something like that. That guy was just overbearing and he was annoying and made me uncomfortable. And that's a lot of times you are that salesman in the car lot or at the tourist shop that's pushy. And what you need to do is take a step back. And I know in my own experience, and I've been in sales in the past, the best approach is someone that's got the information, they're confident, but they are okay if they don't make a sale or they do. And if you ask them for help, they're ready, they're prepared, they can, help you out. But otherwise, they'll just ask you, did you need some help? No, I didn't need any help. Okay, I'm right here if you need some help. That's it. It's not repeated. It's not mentioned again. They don't build a case. And that's why stop trying is your first step. And you know what it's like to feel like you're trying. And let me take this a step further because this is important. When you first got with your girlfriend or boyfriend, when you went into the date, the first date or the second date, the best place to be was, let's just have a good connection and meet up and let's see what happens. And you weren't trying to become their girlfriend or boyfriend, and that was attractive. And if you've ever been out with someone and within a date, 2 dates or 3 dates, I don't care how attractive they are to the naked eye, if they are pushing the envelope to get together and get official, a lot of times a secure individual will go, no, no, thank you. This is too hard a sale. I haven't known enough about you to continue on with the relationship. So please stop trying, number one. Number two, improve yourself without caring if she finds out or he finds out. So sometimes people, they do this thing where they feel like, all right, I'm gonna really improve myself. She didn't like the way I dress, so now I'm gonna change my style. I'm gonna look like a surfer or a rock star, and it really doesn't suit who you are or who that person fell for, and you overcompensate, and it actually works against you. And so if you're gonna improve anything, improve the areas that you want to improve the areas that you see wrong. If you're overweight, well, then take care of that and start going on a diet, going to the gym or going for walks and going for runs. And little by little, you'll feel better about that. But that has nothing to do with them. Just because you improve yourself doesn't mean they're going to find out and suddenly run back to you. That would just be a bonus. So number 3, ask yourself let me go back to this. Improve yourself without caring if she finds out. Okay. The reason why this doesn't work is you start to make progress. Let's say you want to lose weight. Let's say you're, 250 pounds and you're 5'7" or something like that. So you need to lose some weight, right? You feel like you need to lose some weight. You start losing weight, and then you're like, oh shoot, I really want to show her. And then you lose track of why you're losing weight anyways. It's for your health. It's for you to feel better about yourself. And if you start thinking of ways for her to find out and she finds out, but you don't get that validation, that might bring you back down to ground zero and get you off your diet and get you off your gym time. So number 3, ask yourself, when was I really at my best in my life? So this applies especially to people maybe 25, 30, 35, 40 that really, had some life experience and can look back and go, damn, I was really at my best. And really look at it. Oh, I had a really good job. I had a nice circle of friends. I had a lot of confidence because of this, because of that. And then you look back at it and you're like, where am I at right now? And how can I pivot back to being that person I was before? Oh, that's right. I was open to new opportunities and new life experiences, and I was willing to challenge myself. And now I've kind of fell into this comfort zone of having a pizza and a 6-pack every weekend. So you look back at that time, and you're like, it wasn't by accident, right? Number 4, when was the last time women were approaching me in bunches? What I mean by bunches, not like 3 or 4. I shouldn't have phrased it this way. What I mean is, you had 2 or 3, 4 or 5 women that maybe you weren't seeing directly, but you were flirting with. They had interest in you. You had light interest. You got some things on the go, and that wasn't by accident. You had been giving some good energy out. You had some confidence. So think back at those times, who you were and how you felt about yourself and why. And if you could revisit that again and get some of that mojo and just look, well, actually, you know what? During that time, I had some really good habits and I was going to school and work. I was quite busy, but it also made me feel really good about myself because the job I was at had us wear this really fancy uniform that made me, whatever it is, folks. Number 5, am I happy with the way I look? So this might be a loaded question for a lot of people, but if you're really unhappy with the way you look, start taking some inventory on what it is. It could be weight. It could be your hair. If you have a receding hairline like myself a little bit, you got to consider maybe going with a shaved head. If you don't like the clothes you wear, maybe go to a friend that you think is highly fashionable and go, hey, you know what? Also just getting clothes that fit you well, right? So number 6, who do I know that does really well with women? What is it they do? So you might know some or with men, what is it they do? And when I say they do really well, maybe you're not going to model exactly what they do or you want their exact results, but how do they carry themselves? How do they walk? How do they treat things? I bet they don't try hard when they're around women. What's their job? What's their take? And maybe, have a coffee or have lunch with them and just ask their opinion because of their results, not because they're just your friend. Number 7, what books can I read? This is a big one. Models by Mark Manson's popular. The Tactical Guide to Women by Sean Smith. Those are really 2 good ones. Sean Smith also has one for women about men. I forgot what that's called. But start going on Amazon and looking at books in areas that you want to improve on. Are my circle of friends supporting growth in me? Number 8. Are they drug addicts? Are they alcoholics? Are they bad people? Are they people that are hurting my growth? And you got to take inventory of that, right? So be honest with your friends that you have right now. And if they're impeding your growth, you might have to cut anchor. And it doesn't mean you have to tell them, oh, you're an asshole, or find a reason. You really need to look at their situations and go, wow, this is kind of holding me back, because this person seems to always put me down about my clothes and my looks. And I think they think they're just joking around, but actually I want to improve that. And by them talking to me this way, it's just not helping me. And so I got to find a way to stop hanging out with them. Number 9, post photos of you having a good time on social media and have it be absolutely true. People always go, oh yeah, I read that if I post photos on social media of me having fun or with other women or with other men, then that'll get their attention. Yeah, if it's fucking true and you don't try. Okay. So if you're trying and then you don't get results or you don't get a reaction, then that brings you back to ground zero, because you're like, they didn't even notice, they didn't do this. If your intention is, oh, actually, I'm actually really having a good time hanging out with friends, it's actually 100% true. And if my ex sees it, maybe it's just a bonus. It's just a side thing. And I don't really care, because I'm not trying to get them back. What I'm doing every day is improving and working on myself. Number 10, get your self-talk in check. I just had a long live coaching session with an individual today that realized that your self-talk is absolutely paramount. And you don't need to sit in the mirror and say, oh, I'm a wonderful person, I'm outstanding, I'm great, I'm this. Whatever you want to use, affirmations or whatnot. But the other part is, when you're running something in your head like, I'm ugly, stop. Stop it. You're not an ugly person. You're working on yourself right now. Yeah, I need to lose a little bit of weight. Yeah, I need to do this, but I'm going to get it done because I'm not a victim. That's how you reframe things, because I've gotten things done in the past and I'm going to get things done in the future. And right now I'm making a step towards that future. You got to get in charge of your self-talk. You got to be not only your biggest fan, but also your coach. Okay. And that's coming from me that coaches people, but you need to do some coaching on yourself. And I do it myself. Sometimes something happens in my life and I start getting down and I start thinking about it. I say, wait a minute, where's my power? Where's my power in this situation? All right, what do you got to do here? And you redirect the ship. And that's good self-talk. Number 11 is actually maybe one of the most important things. And it's probably one of the biggest turning points that I've heard from people in feedback from coaching clients. You know, all of a sudden they'll make a swift change. And I'll go, well, what happened? You know, like all of a sudden they feel great and they start dating again. And, you know, I'll be like, well, what happened? What happened? I just got tired of it. I just got fed up. Get fed up. Get sick of being a victim. Get sick of complaining. You know, after a while, people stop, people are there for you that care about you. I'm a breakup coach. I help people. I listen. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to be there. But at some level, there's an expiration on complaining. There's an expiration on, oh, my life sucks. I'm a victim. I'm this. You can lick your wounds for a little while, but at some point, you got to start healing. And once you start healing, you got to get up off the mat and go on fucking offense and stop playing not to lose and play to win. And you're your own best cheerleader, your own best coach. And so when you get fed up, you got to go, damn it. I'm on fucking deck right now. I'm alive. I'm well. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I'm getting back into motion. And that's when shit changes. And I'll tell you what, folks, that's attractive. And whether your ex sees it or not, it doesn't really matter, because eventually they'll probably hear about it from a friend or hearsay, and they might not call you because they're stubborn, because they're seeing someone else, but they'll be interested in knowing, like, really? You saw him last week and he lost 25 pounds? Oh, shit. Now, they might not come directly to you and show you that they're interested, but trust me, if you guys live in the same town or you have the same circle of friends, information will get back to them. But here's the thing. You're not trying, and that's attractive. And then when they hit you up or they call you, it's kind of like, oh, shit, where'd this come from? I'm in neutral right now. I'm actually in a pretty good place because I haven't been needy, clingy. I feel really good about myself, and I'm actually capable of saying, you know what, maybe this weekend's not a good weekend to talk. I'm a little bit busy. That's a really good feeling. That's suddenly creating some interest from the other side. Oh, I contacted him, but he wasn't readily available. What the hell? So I hope that helps you. Put it down in the comments below if you're watching this video later on, what you think is a good tactic, strategy, thing to do to get your ex interested again. If I didn't mention one, and please let me know which one you thought was the best. If I had to pick out of what I would say are the two most important, looking back, get fed up with feeling sorry for yourself would probably be number one, and that'll happen eventually. For some people it takes longer, and if you have like a mom or a brother or a good friend that really allows you to keep wailing on, it actually enables you to continue to feel sorry for yourself. At some point they get tired of it, and you kind of are like, oh shit, I better take care of myself here. I better get things going. I better get a coach. I got to get a mentor. I better get a playbook to start running on. It's like if you go back to school, right? You're like, oh, okay, I want to get my degree in psychology. I want to do this. And you're like, you know what? All right, school goes, all right, here's your system, here's your schedule, here's your plan, here's your grades, here's your tuition. They give you the whole system. That's why people like school, because it gives you a system to run on, and you don't have to think too much, right? That's why people get an app before they go to the gym, and it gives you a whole workout system, right? Right? So any of these things now that you want to do, if you want to get up off the mat and stop feeling sorry for yourself, you can get a playbook right away. It's just a question if you can commit to it. It's like a guy I'm talking to today. It's outstanding because it's the second live coaching session I've done. He goes, look, I'd like to meet with you 5 times bi-weekly every 2 weeks. And I want you to give me homework. I want you to tell me what to do. I want some active, useful, helpful items to do. Because the first session, I gave him a book to read and I gave him a couple things to do. He followed it. He immediately saw results because he listened. You know why? Because he's ready and he's open to it. And he's fed up with feeling like shit. He's fed up with the idea of being, a victim and just going through the same breakups that he's gone through, going through broken relationships. And he's like, all right, let me rebuild this thing. And I would say the other one that's probably paramount, that's the most difficult, is to stop trying to get your ex back. All right, let's get on deck here. We got 7 on deck. Thanks for the likes if you guys got them. I appreciate it. Dylan, good evening, bud. The Tassie Devil is in effect. Hey, it's Jesse. I help with their diets. How's it going, Mac? It's outstanding, Jesse. It's always good to hear from you, bud. I really hope you're well anyways. I'm good, bud. Thank you. Alpha M is good for advice with clothing and all kinds of stuff as well. Okay. I'm okay when you recommend someone else. I'm not a clothing genius. But whatever you decide to do with clothing, be true to yourself, but you can make some improvements and ask for other people's opinions and whatnot. Make sure clothes fit is a good idea. And you're happy with the way they fit. That's a big one. I'm always happy with the way I look. I want someone who loves me, or I'm not just the way I look or any other reason. That's good. If you post stuff on social media, you'll all probably get stalked by your ex or anyone else. I think I've been stalked a lot. Well, good for you, Dylan. That's a good thing, I guess. If someone stalked me, I wouldn't know. I'm in the process of making my own website and my PT online business as well. Oh, well, keep me posted on that, Jesse. And if I can help you in any way, let me, we've done a live coaching in the past and you're good fucking people. So share your website and whatever you're doing. And what do you mean by PT online? If you could elaborate. Sounds like you got work cut out. Jesse's a hard worker. He's a cool dude. You got a great personality, Jesse. What if you live with your ex? Good question. Isidro Javier, welcome. This is good because this is someone I haven't had on the live stream before, and this is a different time. Where are you from, Isidro, if I may ask? What if you live with your ex? Well, that's not ideal. How is that? First question would be, how is that serving you? Are you doing it for financial reasons, which I would think that would be the reason, maybe to fulfill a Houston? Yeah. What's that song from Drake where they're in Houston? It's on the tip of my tongue. That's a really cool song, though. And he talks about being in Houston. And I used to like the old school Rockets, not the new ones. But anyways, I got off topic there. If you live with your ex, how's that going for you? Number one, I can only guess. Number two, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Is there an expiration date on this? Is there, is this not going to be a long-term thing? And if it's not, if it's, for example, if it's financial, like, hey, we need to pay rent, then you need to have a finish line where eventually one of you moves out, because I don't think it's ideal to be roommates with your ex, because you're both not going to heal and move forward. And if eventually, I don't know what type of person she is. What if she brings over a new guy? And some people can be nasty that way. Like, well, we're sharing the place. I mean, that would be awkward as hell, and it could really upset you. Personal online trainer and in person, as well as making programs, meal plans, all that kind of stuff, workout routines, and so on. Fuck, Jesse, that's cool, dude. That's really cool. Maybe I go to the gym, I do stuff, but I'm not on your level, Jesse. So maybe I'll hit you up about that, bud. And if I could recommend you in some way once you get cooking, I would be happy to do that, because I know you're good people. Personal online trainer. Okay. Interesting. Well, do a couple of YouTube videos where you're working out yourself, dude, to show off. If I was going to be a personal online trainer and you had 10 or 15, if you did the workouts in YouTube, right? And you got some of your buddies from the military and stuff, and you obviously have the results yourself. What's up, Jessica? How you doing? And you have the results yourself, that really would count for a lot if you can get some videos out, Jesse. And I wouldn't even do that necessarily just to get, a lot of people get obsessed with views with YouTube, but really if you got, think about it, if you opened up a personal trainer office in England, Jesse, or the UK, and you had 100 people come to your office in one day, which you could get 100 views, I don't know, in a day or two for training or something like that. That's a lot of people to come look at your shop. So, Jessica, I hope you're well. Belgium's finest. Let me know if you want to elaborate on that. Excuse me, Mr. Isidro Javier. Well, I was thirsty. I'm outstanding. Thanks for asking. Had a really good live coaching session that went. It was funny, Jessica, because Jessica and Jesse have done live coachings. And oh no. Okay, I'll get to that in a moment. And this guy was at an hour, and I go, don't worry about it. But if we go over and we're doing really good and we're breaking through, and he's such a nice guy. He kept going, I'm sorry. And he goes, it was the time that I usually do my live stream in the morning. He goes, look, you have to do your live stream. This is when you usually do. And I go, don't worry about it. We're making a lot of headway. And I put the individual over the YouTube channel or over doing a live stream. It was kind of funny. He was just so surprised. I was like, no, man, we're making something that's an amazing thing. When you're having a really good conversation, excuse me, drank a lot of water there. You're having a really good conversation and you're making leeway and you're breaking up some of the problems you have. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's been an hour. Let's stop right there. It's like, whoa, we sometimes at an hour, you just got to a point where we start building rapport and you get really comfortable. So it's a privilege that sometimes I don't have someone right behind you and we can keep going so that you feel like you got everything out. It's really a privilege on my end. Scotty Fitzgerald. I've never managed to get an ex interested again, so I'm here to sit and watch. Not that I want any of them back anyway. Well, I mean, the information I gave is counterintuitive, because the number one thing I'm saying is get fed up and start working on yourself. And number two is stop trying. So the idea is not necessarily to get them back, but to be in a position where if they do come back, you've been working on yourself and you're good without them. So you're not overly overcompensating when you see them again. She is talking with, and I'd say, Jessica, it probably wasn't meant to be. And you're probably those exes that at one time you wanted back, you probably look back and go, yeah, I didn't really want them back, looking back. She is talking with someone else. She's talking to someone else and you live together. You need to find a roommate, or you need to find a situation before she brings that person through the door or puts you in a really awkward situation. And I understand financials could be a part of that, but get creative. Sit down with a piece of paper and go, how am I going to figure this out where I can move out or she can move out without getting in a big fight? It's something to look for. Sure, a big field takes time. I've considered a YouTube channel. I'm not an Instagram. I'm more Instagram based, looking to make a Facebook page. Well, here's what I would tell you, Jesse. Just if you do YouTube, you don't necessarily need to do 1,000 videos, but I would say seeing someone on video doing the actual exercises and seeing that if you have a pretty good body would be a hard sell. And the great thing about YouTube videos is you could post a link in an email. So I would definitely not necessarily lead with maybe doing the YouTube channel, but YouTube's free and it's actually, from what I've been told, social media because of the comments. And so I would definitely have a YouTube channel. Even in like if you had to pick between Facebook and YouTube, I'd go YouTube. My ex just asked me to get dirty with him, and I told him off to get dirty with him. Well, good for you if you didn't want to get dirty. You're funny. What's up, Scotty Fitzgerald? Bravo, Jessica. Stay strong. Sabina, how are you? I'm doing my assessment in October, Mac. If you do recommend me, that would be amazing. As soon as that last bit is out of the way, I will hit you up. Yeah, of course, man. If you got a website or something like that and you kind of share what you're doing, I don't see a problem with that. I should be posting. And now that we've done a live coaching, I know you a little bit rather than just someone that made a comment and said, hey, can you do this for me? I should be posting some singing videos soon. Few problems trying to organize it. Hope you subscribe to my channel, Mac. I've got 2, but this one is a new one. Well, I'd prefer to see the newest, best stuff, bud. Oh, I'm good. I'm kind of seeing someone I think so. It's whatever. Well, that's great. That's outstanding. Sabina says, hello, Scott. She says, I have her heart and he is just there for the problems. I don't know if that's a good situation for you, Isidro. But I caught her sexting him pics. Well, if you guys live together and you're broken up, you need to decide what area you're in because I've never been in that situation. But what I would say, Isidro, send your breakup story to writemac.com and send the full thing. Cause right now I can't really unpack it without knowing more details, giving you just little tidbits like you're giving me right now. I'll give you broken information. I think the other people that have, Robert, Jessica, Dylan, they've all sent me their story and I can definitely give you a better tailored response. So go ahead and send your story in and I'll give you a YouTube video response if you're okay with it being public, and I won't use your name. Happy Sunday, Scotty Fitzgerald. Mac, I got rid of that needy girl. It got worse. Should not really laugh, but I do when I look back. Hey, you know what? There's I saw an interview a couple days ago with Robert Glover, who's the author of No More Mr. Nice Guy, really popular book. And he was just like, when you're dating, a big aspect of getting into dating again is learning how to end when you're not interested. And he was like, I literally married 2 women that probably on the 3rd or 4th date, I should have probably said, oh, this isn't the woman for me. Because a lot of people, they just take opportunities. They meet someone at work or they meet someone through a friend. And then they just kind of like, after 3 weeks or 4 weeks and dating and stuff, it's like, oh, this seems okay. But they really don't like the person that much. It's just the only person they're seeing. And so they push themselves into a relationship that's not very good just based on the fact that that was their first opportunity. It's like someone that takes a job they hate. Oh, I hate my job. Well, how'd you get your job? Oh, my aunt got me the job, or a friend of mine got me the job. And now it's like, well, why do you keep working? Oh, well, it's got good benefits. Well, no, because you don't want to challenge yourself for what you really want to do because you'll have to work harder. I know from when I was in my 20s that I wanted to be a college professor, university level professor. And I was like, I didn't want to go through school to get a PhD. After getting my bachelor's, I'm like, that's daunting. And so the reality is I wasn't willing to put that in. And then when I looked abroad, I was like, oh, you know what? I can go teach at universities teaching abroad and I don't need that designation. I can still work with students that age. And so I was just looking at it in a non-resourceful and creative way. And when you're looking at your career and you're looking at a lot of things, a lot of times you're limited because you just stopped thinking about other avenues, other ideas. And so, like Jesse, you're starting this new business right now. Get yourself a mind map and really get creative with your different ideas and get in sync with what you want to do. Mr. Nice Guy is a good book. It's a classic one. The guy that I did the live coaching session with was like, it was groundbreaking for him. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I don't know if it's, and he just started, Jesse, he just started The Rational Male, and he took my advice on the audiobook, and he was like, oh my God. And he's not someone that would follow that, but he said that he's like, I'm not sure if this is for me. And I said, it's not that it's for you, but I want you to read different perspectives. So, you know me, Jesse, I always prescribe books, and it's not necessarily that I'm always going to pick a book I'll pick a book or two that suits you, but I'll also pick a book that suits your situation, but that doesn't line up with who you are, just so you can get different perspectives, right? And that's not so forceful as someone telling you their perspective as passively reading it. Yes, I will check that book. I won't try to get my ex interested in me. I've already got someone hitting on me. And I said I don't have feelings for her a million times, but she's not giving up trying to get me. Well, that should be a good feeling, Dylan. Good for you. Robert, how you doing, bud? Yeah, it's actually the evening here. So it's 6:15 p.m. where I'm at. So it's early where you're at. I didn't get an early live stream, but I figured I'd get one in today and maybe touch base with some of the people that don't get to see the live streams when they're sleeping. So we got Jesse, who's in the UK, and Sabina's in Italy. Dylan's in Tasmania. So this kind of helps that Jessica's in Belgium. Sorry if you guys don't want to share where you're at. I got a good memory, folks. Bought No More Mr. Nice Guy ages ago and still not listened to it. It came up in a conversation a week ago, and now you brought it up. I'm going to read it now. Well, that's serendipity. He also had this guy, Robert Glover. I just went on yesterday, and he's got YouTube interviews. So sometimes before you want to read something, if you want, there's book reviews on YouTube, but there's also interviews with the author, and those are good. I know I have a really good memory. People are like, I just talked to a guy that I've done live coachings with once every 3 to 4 months for about a year. And I went and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy that this and that. And I'm referencing things off my head. And he's like, damn, you remembered that? Like the details? All of your stuff's stored in your subconscious. You just need to make sure when you listen to people, you're listening intently as if it's important. And secondly, when you're talking to them, and one of the reasons I actually have a good memory is because I say it. I keep saying, like, I've got a good memory. So I'm reinforcing it to my subconscious and to myself. It's not like I was just born with it. But I also used to have a job where I used to sell shoes when I was in college. And, when women would go, oh, I'm a size 8 and I want this one, this one, and this one. And I would just look, and then I'd go in the back and grab them. So you'd always have to remember the color, the size. So I think that helped. And when I was a little kid, I used to like to read the sports page in the newspaper, and I used to remember stats for baseball cards and things like that. So that might have contributed. One of my old best friends lives in Belgium, very small country. Well, Belgium chocolate. It seems like a nice country. People that I've met from there are quite nice. It's not so small. Okay. Sabina would know. She's a European. I believe. She might not be European. She lives in Italy, but it doesn't mean she's necessarily European. She's tried to win me over by sexting me a few times, but she's not the only one who's done that. Well, good for you, Dylan. Jeez, you're an animal, man. Little Justin Bieber's struck again. It's funny. You guys have any, yes, I'm European 100%. Okay, cool. What's your favorite country in Europe? All countries in Europe are small compared to America. Where are you at, Scotty Fitzgerald? You're in the States? S. Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby. Belgium is time. Okay, so Some people have different opinions of the size of Belgium. That's great. England, not the UK, but England. Mr. Fitzgerald. That's good. We got some UK people. Yeah, I got really pissed off with her in the end. I told her time and time again, I'm not ready. So I said, don't want you or anyone. I need to work on myself. Had to block her. And then, well, I mean, you know what people don't realize is actually when you're dating someone or seeing someone, you have interest, right? You're attracted. For men, usually it's like I'm highly attracted to her. Women too. Maybe there's something that really draws you in. You got a great sex life or something like that. But in reality, there's enough things that are wrong that you really shouldn't continue to date because you don't want to be with them long term. And sometimes you offset that and you're like, oh, this is going to be really difficult. There's a lot of power in being like, you know what? I got to end this thing because long term, it's not going to be good. And so whether I end it now or continue this on, this is actually draining and exhausting. And when you're with someone that's very needy, it's exhausting, it's draining, it's not fun, it's constantly about them. And if you identify that, ending it is actually a confident thing. You don't have to be a jerk by blocking them, but yeah, draining is a word. I've had a friend like that where I'm just like, this is exhausting because, as you know, doing the job I do, I'll sit there and listen to people and I'll talk to them, and I like doing that. If I'm buddies with you and we're friends, I have time for you. But sometimes sometimes it's like, hey, when's this going to end? Right? Like the complaining and the whining and the need, about everything. I wonder why a woman wouldn't just come clean to you and tell you they want you again. An old ex of mine called me drunk one day, making me believe she missed me. Why not come clear and come back? Well, first of all, she was drunk. So I'm not giving her a free pass, but people actually convey a lot of truth when they're drunk, but they don't have any control over it. So, drunk texting or drunk, she could have just wanted to hook up that night. So I'm not giving her a free pass, but the fact that she's drunk is one of the reasons why wouldn't come clean and tell you they want you again. Well, because a lot of women with men, from what I've heard, is like they want the guy to work for it. They want to be stubborn. It depends on your situation. So I don't want to generalize on that because it can mean a lot of different things. It would have to be specific to you. But, some individuals have a lot of pride and they're stubborn. So they never want to feel like they went to you and they were weak or they were needy. And some women are like that. And so even if they really want to come back, they're going to wait. Because whenever you break up with someone, you made a decision and you want to stick to it. And once you go back or you go running back, you kind of show the other individual that, actually, I made a mistake. I'm wrong. All Mediterranean area country are my favorite. Quality of life is high. Sounds like it. I changed my name to Tazzy Genius with the stuff girls do to me. I had two of them physically fight over me almost. Wow. I like to think men are like dog and ladies are like cats in some way. Well, that's Corey Wayne talks about that in his book, 4 hours of sleep a night. That's ridiculous. So you did the right thing, Jesse. Move forward, my friend. It's hard to spill all those issues in women and man issues. All people are different, Sabina. And I come back to that over and over and over again. Everyone's a thumbprint. Their thumbprint's different. And you can have some things in common, but you can also have just one thing different about your life experience. And this is why if you have brothers and sisters and you have different personalities, you're like, oh, why is so-and-so like this? Because they had a different teacher in third grade, because they had a different best friend when they were 10 years old. All these things contribute to your past experiences and who you are moving forward. It's not just about your parents. There's little nuanced things. Your first job, your first love, all those things are going to be slightly different than the next person. And then on top of it, your perception of what happened in those situations is also going to be different. Okay. So, folks, I actually have to go. I was just coming on for a quick one, and we ended up having 13 on deck. Thank you for the likes. Anyone have a closing question that's in need? I will close out the last 5 minutes with anything concerning of them. Good to hear from you, Robert, Jesse, Sabina. As always, haven't heard from you in a while. You're always good with the symbols. Thanks for that. Dylan's just overflowing. Calling your ex drunk would be a big mistake. It happens all the time, though, right? You are awesome. You're awesome too, Jesse. You're good people. You're good people. I really enjoyed when we talked. It was fun. Sometimes talk to people. When is the next live session? You know what? Based on my schedule being staggered because of live coaching sessions, I'm doing one every day, but I do not have a set time. If you hit the bell on the subscribe button, it will update you from what I've been told. Some people said, "Oh, it didn't work," but that's what everyone tells me. I know you're sick of these. I learned loads of stuff. Well, thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it. So if you hit the bell on the subscribe button, Scott, that should work. If you want to email me and ask me a specific question for a live stream that I didn't get to, I'd be happy to do that for you. Ooh, who the writer of No More Mr. Okay, sure. Robert Glover, Dr. Robert Glover. Yes, Scott, if you want to email me, you can. And if you have a topic for a live stream and I didn't get to it or a question, maybe I can discuss it on the next one if you didn't get that. Folks, it's been nice. Thanks for showing up today. I got 14 on deck. Waking up here, good topic. Found it. Aussie 41. Of course, everyone's coming out. I'm actually just ending it, but I'll keep this time slot in mind as being something that's an active time for you guys. I know, Ozzy, but I'm actually just ending it. So I hope you're well, bud. I hope your trip goes well. I haven't heard from you for a while, Ozzy. Miami's finest. Monica, as always, it's a pleasure to hear from you, and I hope you have a good day if you're just waking up. What I will do really quick, because you guys just came on, I'll brush the topic I had, and you guys I'll close it out with that. How do I get my ex interested in me again? Number 1, stop trying. Number 2, improve yourself without caring if she finds out or he finds out. Number 3, ask yourself when I was really at my best in my life and look back at where you were at and what you were doing and see if you can add some of those things to your life again. Number 4, when was the last time women or men were approaching me in bunches or you? And what I mean by that, not 3 or 4 at a time, but more or less like 3 or 4 different ones going. And we've all had times if we live long enough where you're like, wow, I'm talking to this one girl and all of a sudden there's 2 or 3 that appeared. What were you doing during that time? Where were you at? What was your job? How did you feel about yourself? Number 5, am I happy with the way I look? This is not something to get down on yourself, but take some inventory. Do you not dress that well? Do you need to get a haircut? Do you need this? Do you need that? Take an inventory. Do you want to lose some weight? Take a look at that and make some active choices towards that. Number 6, who do I know that does really well with women or men? What is it they do? Maybe have lunch with them. And it's not someone that's, someone that you respect, someone that you admire for how they are with women or men. And what is it that they do, objectively looking at them? Number 7, what books can I read? So there's a lot of books on this stuff, and I would definitely explore at least 2 or 3. Models by Mark Manson's a good one. It's very basic. Are my circle of friends supporting growth in me, or are they drug addicts? Are they needy? Are they people that don't help me out? Are they people that put me down? If that's the case, then it's time for you to cut anchor on those friends because they're not going to help you get your ex back. They're going to make you feel worse. Number 9, post photos of you having a good time on social media and have it be absolutely true without you trying to have them see you. The part that is key here is to have it be true. Number 10, get your self-talk in check. If you're talking down to yourself in your head, check yourself at the door. Reframe that self-talk into something that works for you. Number 11, get fed up with feeling sorry for yourself. Get up off the mat and go, you know what? I'm tired of being weak and whiny, and I'm going to stop this. Okay, I'll keep that in mind, Scotty Fitzgerald. Ozzy, busy with the trip coming up. Well, I wish you all the best and have a good one, and I hope to see you in the next live stream. Folks, it's curtains.